Hey there, guys. It's Vampire Preacher. How you doing? You doing well? You, taking care of yourselves? Still washing your hands? Staying safe? Good. Good. That's what I like to hear. So, it's going to be a real weird unboxing today. I have no new waves of Marvel Legends. None. None at all. The last one to come out was the AOA wave that we did last week, so I'm out. Because of that, we're going to be doing something a little bit different today. I have a random hodgepodge of different figures that I've been accumulating. One's a very, very new figure. One's a figure that's actually pretty old. I've had her for a long time. I just haven't gotten an excuse to do an unboxing. Two of them I got for super duper cheap and want to review them with you guys. And two vehicles. You heard that correctly. Two vehicles. That's going to be streamed today. That's going to be the unboxing and the review. But in the meantime, you didn't come here to hear me talk. You came here for unboxings. So, let's get started, shall we? I want to work my way up. At the same time, I want to start off big. You know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start big. I'm going to start with my biggest individual unboxing today. After all, if you guys follow the YouTube channel and you follow the Twitch channel here, you'll know that we did an unboxing of some very unique figures some time ago, right after the movie came out. We did a SCOOB unboxing of all these Scooby-Doo figures. Most of the Scooby-Doo figures. I didn't bother with Captain Caveman. But there's one I just found out about. And it's a very unique figure. Like it's the Mystery Machine, man! That's right. They sell a 6-inch scale, a 1/12 scale Mystery Machine. Now, if you're curious about this, it is a Walmart exclusive. The only place you're going to find this thing is Walmart. Now, why do I want a 1/12 scale Mystery Machine? A bunch of reasons. First of all, this thing's $20. It's not breaking the bank. It's the price of a legend, but it's big enough to hold several legends. If you want to give it a paint job and make it into, oh, say, the Punisher's Battle Van, $20 is a lot cheaper than anything Hasbro's going to put out. If you want to just have a Mystery Machine for, I don't know, Stanley and Deadpool to ride around in, because that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be them riding around in this thing. It's $20. It's not breaking the bank. I'm not spending $100 on a vehicle in this scale. I wouldn't dream of it. But we do have this. It is our first unboxing of today. So, let's get into it, shall we? So, we have no windows here. It's just all open air. You can get your hand all the way in there. It's got the SCOOB marketing on the front. Of course, it's just the Mystery Machine here. It's got the SCOOB marketing on the side here with the Mystery Machine lights and sounds there. And just kind of details about what it is. Yes, it's got lights and sounds and even the back door's open. So, yeah, that's the thing. And a little blurb. There's even a blurb for this one. When there's a mystery to solve, the gang jumps into action in the Mystery Machine. Push the spare tire to light up the dark and investigate some very eerie sounds. And it's got the same collection of characters that we saw in the movie. And we reviewed 4 of them, because only 4 of them got figures. The other 4 never did. But I'm going to take this off screen now and unbox it, and then through some editing magic, it'll be back. Watch this. See? Just like that. Just like the professional videos you see on Facebook for cooking. It's the same kind of thing. And there's 3 spaces on the top here for all of this cool tech gear to go in. There's a satellite dish, what looks to be part of a radio tower, and that's a wind sensor, so it's also supposed to be a weather tower up here. I don't remember the original van having all that cool crap, but whatever. So, we have a Scooby-Doo mystery machine. It's got the little spinny wheels. Just as the box said, the back indeed opens up. I don't know that just because it kept on opening on me when I was trying to unbox it. Giving you plenty of room in here. I mean, plenty of room in here. My hand disappears completely, and I've got some huge hands. And then enough room for several vehicles to sit up front. And yes, once again, as the box says, it does have, when you all you need to do is tap the front tire, and headlights come on and makes sounds and all that. Oh, that's the try me mode. Here's just on. Ooh. Spoopy.
Man, like plenty spooky.
I wonder if they'll stay on for longer than just like 2 seconds now. I'm gonna guess the answer is yes. Oh, they do. That's neat. I might make for some cool photos. So, it's pretty much just what you see here. The side doors don't open at all. To get characters in, you're going to need to kind of weasel them on in there through the side or through the back and get them to sit. Again, it's a very basic thing, but for a 6-inch scale van, for $20, it's not bad. And since we're going to do it with all the figures, we might as well do it with the van as well. So, the van is so large that it's longer than our T-square. And our T-square is 11 inches long. Meaning, in length, it's a foot long. Hey, look at that. It's an actual foot long. You know, unlike subways. Don't be scared, just have a little bite. Height-wise, so without any of the extra stuff on top of it, it's about 8 inches tall. Yeah, it's 8 inches tall to the top of the lighting here. So it's a fairly substantial size van. Let me grab you a figure and show you what it looks like to scale with a figure. Here's my custom Spider-Man Noir figure. It's the Spider-Man Noir figure with the Reed Richards Walgreens head and the pistols from Jacob Fry. But that's what he looks like standing in front of it. And he's shorter than the van, as he should be. And that's without it being exactly level. And close enough to level, he's still shorter than the van. And sitting on the inside of it, I'm sure he's going to be even better looking. Now, mind you, he's old Pete here is never going to be the one driving. That's going to get annoying as I'm trying to pose things. And with all of 2.5 seconds of doing, there you go. And that's without me even trying to really pose him in here. It works perfectly for the size of the figures that we're working with here. That's exactly what I wanted it to do. And you know what? I'm happy with it. For 20 bucks, it makes me happy. I might see if I could take out the screws here, remove these surfboards. Again, with all the tech stuff that it already comes with, a quick coat of paint, and this is a Punisher van. I've got no qualms with that. And for 20 bucks to make a Punisher van, I have absolutely no qualms with that. Especially since they did just announce that they're going to be doing a version of... Oh, what is his name? He's not Newman, but he is Newman. Newman! I'm forgetting the actor's name right now. You all know who I'm talking about. They're doing a figure of him from Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park. Yes, he's getting a figure for you didn't say the magic word.
You didn't say the magic word.
He's getting a figure. He also played Micro in Punisher Warzone. So I'm probably going to be getting that figure to make into Micro and have him riding around in here with the Punisher. Again, for 20 bones, I'll happily slap a coat of black paint on this thing, call it a Punisher van. It's no real loss to do so, especially since it's got all the neat, cool tech gear to make it so that I will have a good time with it. And just kind of even halfway popping in this gear. I mean, absolutely half-assing this as much as I possibly can. So it can still be removed later. And there. I mean, that... I'm not gonna lie, that says more Punisher van to me than even Mystery Machine. To the point where I'm actually putting it in fully. I know it doesn't come out. That's fine. Like, that says Punisher van. Minus the surfboards, which... I just removed the surfboards. For 20 bucks, grab it. I don't think we're going to be getting a Punisher van from Hasbro anytime soon. If we do, it's going to be a HasLabs thing, and you and I both know HasLabs will make it into 200, 250 bucks. We've seen their Sentinel. We saw Unicron. That thing, eesh, that costs a lot of money. A lot more than I was willing to spend, that's for darn sure. Again, for 20 bucks, grab it, customize it, make it into a Punisher van. Or keep it as a Mystery Machine. Hell, I'm probably going to grab a second one to do just that. Keep one as a Mystery Machine, have Deadpool and Stan Lee riding around in it, and have the other one as the Punisher van. Because there's no other way I'm going to get a Punisher van. There's no other way. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give the Walmart exclusive Mystery Machine from the new SCOOB movie a solid 7. But Vamp, you were saying such great things about it. Hear me out. Yeah, it's 20 bucks, but it feels like it's 20 bucks. The plastic's kind of crap. There's some paint errors on it, and the doors don't open. And I'd like a little bit more front room up here for the figures to ride around in. That being said, is it bad? No, I'm not going to tell you it's bad. It's 20 bucks. You could be spending hundreds of dollars on a vehicle of the same scale. Or you could spend 20 bucks, some black paint, a couple hours worth of work with taking the whole thing apart, putting it all back together. It's fine. For 20 bucks, I'm not complaining. Not anytime soon. We'll put his helmet in there so that Mr. Parker doesn't forget that. So that's our first big unboxing of the day with, a large unboxing. Yeah, that van's a perfect scale for 6-inch. Grab it. There are some shenanigans you can get up to with it. For our next unboxing, let's go with a figure I've had that I've been wanting to unbox for a long time now. I just haven't gotten around to her. That figure is going to be the Walgreens exclusive Medusa. I've had this figure since it came out. It's a peg warmer, but I've had it since it came out. Now, I like the Inhumans. I really do. I just haven't had any excuse to put her in with another wave. So, why not today? So, let's get into it, shall we? We've got, of course, our window pane front telling you it's a Walgreens exclusive Inhumans Medusa. We've got our artistic rendering of Medusa here on the side. Our big picture of the figure on the back. Our little blurb all about how born into Inhumans royalty, Medusa is a formidable leader who uses control of her steel-like hair to command power. And editing wipe 2 on the inside. Her background is hair, just a mess of hair. The figure itself is seriously 90% hair. Look at all of this hair. That's a lot of hair. I think I'm actually going to pop the head off of her, because I don't think the hair is going to fit through here while attached to the body. So let's see if we can pop this head off. That was significantly easier than the other way. I mean, just look at this mane of hair. That's ridiculous. Most of the sculpt of this is all in hair. Insanity. And there we are. So, our Medusa figure, yeah. The big thing you're going to notice on her is this just mop of hair on the back of her head. Since we've already got her looking down, let's take a look at that articulation, shall we? For her downward neck articulation, she's looking decently well. For her upward neck articulation, that's it. She can look straight forward. And the hair's even sculpted around her shoulder. Yeah, you're not getting any more articulation than that. For her shoulder articulation, wow, that's way better than a T-pose. Look at that. Well, that's incredible. That's going the wrong way. That almost makes up for the lack of bicep swivels and the single-jointed elbows, which are awful. I mean, just the worst. And of course, there's no waist cut and no ab crunch on the figure. Mostly because, you know, Hasbro hates their female figures, and they hate money. She has the standard in and out wrist articulation, as seen here. And here. I realize you can see it better against just the background there, because her gloves, even though they're a dark purple, blend in with the dark red of her hair. For her waist swivel, we've got so much to the right, so much to the left, which is not that much. This much forward, and that much back. And to even get her to go back, you need to like put your fingers behind and then make her head look down to move her backward. Like, it's not great. For her hip articulation, that's it. That's all that you're getting. We also have the thigh cuts, of course. The double jointed knees, which go an alright degree back. They're not fantastic, but they're not the worst. She's got no boot cuts on her, of course. For the rocker ankles, they do go a disturbing degree in, a painful degree out, a slight degree forward, if they will move forward at all. Yes, a slight degree forward, and all the way on point back. As far as how tall she is, let's get out our T-square. She is coming in at exactly 6 inches from the tips of her extensions all the way to top of her head. I'm joking, of course. We know it's all real. And just the hair itself, I believe, is measuring in at the same height. Yeah, the hair itself is also actually over 6 inches. The hair itself is measuring in at over 6 inches tall. It's 6.25 for just the hair. The hair is taller than the figure. It also makes it horrendously back-weighted. Like this, if you think capes weigh down your figures, this is... I think her hair weighs more than the rest of her. I don't even know if I can genuinely get her to... I can get her to stand. Honestly, the best way to do that is separating her legs a little bit and using her hair as a tripod there. Otherwise, it's not really going to work. Though, with her next to Black Bolt, you really won't even notice. You'll still enjoy the figure because it's the only way you can get Medusa. And since they haven't been showing a whole lot of love to any of the Inhumans, ever since the show bomb, that is, the only 2 Inhumans you can get right now are Black Bolt from the Okoye Build-to-Figure wave, and this Walgreens exclusive Medusa, which was a huge peg warmer. She's still probably at your local Walgreens, even though the figure came out like 3 years ago. What do I think of her? She's got all of the same problems as every other female figure that Hasbro does. She's not great. But if you've got the King of the Inhumans, you should get the Queen of the Inhumans. Honestly, she's not bad. And I know some Walgreens are even willing to give her to you for a discount, so there's that. If I have to give Medusa here a rating, I'd say she's a 6, and the only reason she gets a 6 is because of how much work they put into this mane of hair. The hair is all soft goods plastic, but there's just so much of it, and it's so detailed. I mean, just looking at how detailed this hair is, you gotta kind of love that. They put some actual passion into the head. They put none into the rest of the body, but the head got some passion, so there's that. Now, when I said this was a random hodgepodge of figures, I wasn't kidding. We've seen a vehicle. We've seen a Marvel Legend. Well, let's go with some Star Wars now. You guys down for some Star Wars? I'm down for some Star Wars, as long as you are. So, we have the Imperial Royal Guard as our next unboxing. Now, you'll remember the Imperial Royal Guard if you ever watched Return of the Jedi and saw the throne room scene. There were a couple of these guys. Unfortunately, I could only find one, but as you can see from the tag, you know where I got him. Got him at Five Below. It was $5. That's it. The whole reason why I got him and a later Star Wars figure that we will be looking at. But let's get into it, shall we? We've, of course, got our window pane front telling us that we've got the Imperial Royal Guard. Just the name here on the side. On the back, we've got a little blurb all about how the Imperial Royal Guard is resplendent in crimson robes and armor. The Imperial Royal Guard protected the Emperor. Secrecy shrouded the Guard, with rumors abounding about the Sentinels' backgrounds and combat capabilities. So these are pretty much the predecessor to the, I think they called them the Praetorian Guard, that we saw recently in Star Wars, not The Last Jedi, not The Last Skywalker, but The Last Jedi. Same kind of idea with these guys. They were the predecessor to it, though. They're the ones that started that off. And we're going to take it off screen here. Ta-da! Inside, the backing is the same as every other Black Series. It's just the red back. There's nothing of any kind of note. He comes with this tiny little pistol here. The staff weapon that he's known for. Apparently, a rubber band around him. And there are more rubber bands around the feet. That is good to know. Because I did not know that. At first, I knew about the one. I didn't know about the other two. And actually, let's keep Medusa over here so that people can see that we've already done an unboxing. So, already, I can tell you this. The Royal Guard here does, like many Star Wars Black Series figures do, has all of this fabric with an awesome... Look at the sculpt underneath. Look at this sculpt. This sculpt looks badass, and it's completely covered by this huge robe. And this robe covers up all of this. Huh. Well, that's cool. I was wondering what the articulation on this guy was going to look like, and man, oh man. I really wish they had a couple more of these guys. Because I know I'd like to pop the heads off here, take off all of this cloth, and just showcase this. Because that looks really cool. But of course, this is the image we all know and all love. One thing is because Hasbro has been listening, and I love them for it. Our weird little blaster here has a usable holster, so you can keep the guard with all of the weapons he comes with on his person. After all, the staff piece would go in this hand. Stay on the outside. Actually, I think he normally has it face down when in the movie. So this is how you're going to see most of them displayed on people's shelves. Is like this. Because I believe that's how the original 3 3/4 inch figure looked. Underneath, though, it's so much cooler. Let's get into the articulation, shall we? For his neck articulation, there is none. He doesn't even look side to side. There's too much flash on the back and front of this for him to do anything. I mean, anything at all. Let me tell you, if I can find another one, I'm probably going to replace the head with a much cooler looking head. Because this is an awesome looking figure. Underneath all of that cloth, this is a really cool looking figure. For our shoulder articulation, we're getting just about a T-pose out of him. The shoulder pads are a soft goods shoulder pad here, but they do get interfered with by the cloth, so he can't go up much further than that. As we see here, he only has single jointed elbows. So that's as much as you're going to get articulation-wise out of those elbows. No bicep swivels. But both of the hands are sword cuts. Both of our hands are the up and down sword cuts, as seen here. For the Imperial Guard, he's got twin sword cuts. Okay. He's got a ab swivel? It's an ab swivel, but that's all the right movement we've got. That's all the left movement we've got. That's all the forward movement we've got. And that's all the backward movement we got. And that's it. That's everything. No waist cut. For our hip articulation, I'm trying to make sure that the Hulkster here isn't interfering, and it's not. So that's our hip articulation. It's very uneven. Oof. And it's kind of rough. We do, of course, have the thigh swivels, as seen here. The double-jointed knees, as seen here. They go a decent degree back. They go further than Medusa's, that's for sure. Does he have rocker? He does have rocker ankles. They go a disturbing degree in, an incredibly painful degree out. A little bit forward, the shin guards keep him from going too far. And almost all the way on point back. Scale-wise, our Imperial Guard is coming in at just about 6 inches as well. He might be a hair under, but he's just about 6 inches. Comparing him to our Medusa, seems like Medusa, just based on the hair, actually, they seem to be right about the same height. So his scale's there, and let me tell you, if you're like me and you can find a couple of these guys at Five Below, grab 2 for your throne room with your Emperor. Grab another 2 for this body. Because that is just so darn cool looking. I'm gonna see, can we pop the head off of this guy? Or am I gonna break it trying to do that? I'd say he might be a boil and pop, but with all of this cloth, you can't really boil. So it's probably gonna be the old hairdryer trick to get the head to pop off of here. So we can see what this body looks like underneath without all of the robes getting in the way, because this is a really cool looking body. I never would have figured. I never would have thought the Imperial Guard, best known for standing there and doing absolutely nothing but looking kind of neat, has such a cool body underneath. What do I think of the figure? I think it's really cool. I think that if I can find more of these at Five Below, I'm going to stockpile these things and start army building them with doing the hairdryer trick to get the heads off, and then doing whatever with the bodies, because that's a cool body. It's a really cool body to it. Way better than I expected for something that's how it looks 99% of the time. Actually, I think 100% of the time. I don't think we ever see anything more than the flowing robes and the helmet. But here we are. If I had to give it a rating, if I found it for $20, it probably wouldn't get as high of a rating as it's going to. As it stands, finding it for $5, it's an 8. It's an 8 easy. It's got the sword cuts for the hands, both hands, which, even if I don't use them on here, I'm probably going to use these on a different figure to make something really cool. And then the body underneath, yeah, there's no part of this that I don't want to use as another figure. But that's the thing, I'm judging it not based on how it looks for the figure itself. I'm judging it based on its custom fodder, because that's what it is to me. It's custom fodder. And at $5, you're not losing anything for that custom fodder. It's neat. It's cool. Again, check your local Five Belows. Grab one if you see them. Grab a couple of them if you can. Imperial Guards come here making me double think things. Incredible. Well, we started off today reviewing a vehicle. How about we do another? That's right. I told you it was a random hodgepodge. Because of that random hodgepodge, I finally get to review two vehicles that I've been just kind of sitting on. In this case, it's the Spider Buggy. It's the Spider Buggy. Yeah. Yeah, I got this because, honestly, it looked cool. The figure that comes with it, I couldn't care less about, but I wanted the Spider Buggy. So, if you guys don't know, this is part of the Disney Store exclusive, even has Disney's marketing on it, Toy Box figures. Remember back when Disney Infinity was a thing?
Nope.
No? No, because you didn't care? The group behind me there, you see him right next to the Battleborn box? It's a Disney Infinity figure. That was one of those Toys to Life games that they were trying to do with Skylanders and Lego Dimensions and, yeah, Disney Infinity. Toy Box is what came after that, because they had some neat designs and people liked the designs, but the Toys to Life thing died real quick. That's why, if you see behind me, there's actually some Skylanders figures down here. I got those all for dirt cheap. I got them once again at a Five Below for the game, with the portal, with everything. So that one night my wife and I can just get hammered and play a god-awful kids game. That is potential extreme material coming up on either her channel or mine. It's just watching us drink and play kids games. So, potential content to look forward to. Content, if you will. I heard about this Spider Buggy, and I wanted it. Because I saw people do some posing with their legends in this Spider Buggy, and, well, it's a little small, it works. So, let's get into it, shall we? We've, of course, got our window pane front here, where we see our Spider-Man figure, our Spider Buggy, our Disney marketing, our Toy Box marketing, telling you there's a vehicle included. I had no idea there was a vehicle included. However could I tell there was a vehicle in the box, unless there was a sticker here? Come on! Oh, come on! Spider-Mobile and Spider-Man set. Try me, working headlights, working headlights! Well, I mean, if you insist.
My spider sense is tingling.
Well, thank you. On the side, we've got a stylized view of Spider-Man in the Spider Buggy. That's not the figure. That would be a Toy Box rendering. Just like how on the back, these are also Toy Box renderings. Same thing with the Hulkbuster and Hulk set, which I could not care less at all about. The box tells you how it's all Marvel Toy Box, and there's just this, again, Toy Box rendering of Spider-Man here on the side. And a little packet here about information, probably involving the batteries on the bottom. No blurbs or anything like that on here, just what you see is what you get. And, again, through some editing magic, we're going to see video editing magic. So, we have a Spider Buggy, and it's exactly as it says on the tin. It's a buggy. It's Spider-Man. Now, things of note. There are pegs here on the back, so you could put figures standing up on the back here. There's also a hatch here with two other pegs. So you can even open the hatch and have a figure standing here as well. Or put something in there if you want to. I don't know. do whatever you feel like.
Wait, hold on. What? Venusaur.
The vehicle also has this anchor, which is meant to act as a spider line, so you can have it hanging off of things. Might even be how it's displayed. And I believe it is retractable. Awesome. Now, unlike the mystery machine we looked at, the rear is a rear axle, so the rear two wheels are actually connected, and there's a rubberized coating on them. The front two wheels are also an axle, so they're connected. The mystery machine, they were just 4 independent spinning wheels. Now these can spin independently if you're pushing them opposite ways, but yeah, they're just on an axle. On-off switch is here, because trying to mess with this thing and get it open. I mean, there's the reason to get it. It's a Spidey-mobile. It's a spider buggy. It's so weird and so silly. The main reason I got this is because of all of the funky photos I've seen of people taking with, like, the various Spider-Men just hanging about on this thing. And it looks fun. Honestly, it looks like it's fun. If that's not the reason to get action figures is because they're fun, I don't know what we're doing here anymore. It does come with a little Spider-Man. I'm never going to be displaying this thing, but for articulation, his head goes so far up, so far down. He's got... actually, he can T-pose for his shoulder articulation. Single jointed elbows, which barely even get 90 degrees. In and out wrist articulation. No kind of torso articulation except for a hip cut. For his hip articulation, though, look at that. Best we've ever seen. Doesn't look realistic, but it's the best hip articulation we've ever seen on this channel. He's got single jointed knees that don't even go 90 degrees. Spidey's not getting out of his knee replacement with that. Nah, you're going to go back to physical therapy, my friend. Does he have rocker ankles? Nope. He has standard ankles, which go so far forward and so far back. Now, we'll review for heights both Spidey himself and the spider buggy that came with him. Spidey himself is coming in at, yeah, about 4 3/4 inches. He's short. He's real short. Compared to our guard here, who's over 1.5 inches taller than him, he's real tiny. Of course, he's not 3 3/4 inches, so he doesn't quite fit in with your G.I. Joes and your 3 3/4 inch Star Wars figures. He'd be towering over them by over 1 inch. But he also doesn't fit in with your standard Marvel figures. Can we do a head pop on him? That is a huge joint for a... That is a huge ball joint for such a tiny head. I was gonna say maybe we could do a head swap and change him out to be a different version of Spider-Man. Actually, that might be what this becomes. This might be either the anime, the manga-verse Spider-Man for me, or this might get the treatment for the... I'm trying to remember what he referred to himself as. The Indian Spider-Man. I'm trying to remember what his name was, because I cannot off the top of my head think of what his name was. But this could make for an interesting custom of that Spider-Man as well. The figure itself, yeah, it's pretty basic. It's a kid's figure. What do you expect? Now for the vehicle, now we're talking. in length, our vehicle here is measuring in at about 10 inches. Yeah, it's right at about the 10-inch mark. In height, we're talking just over 4. It's more of a sports car versus the van that we saw earlier. Let's see what it looks like with a Marvel Legend inside of it. And the Marvel Legend we're going to use is Student Deadpool. Why? It's a secret tool that we're going to use later.
That's a surprise tool that can help us later.
Now, it looks like it's going to be a tight fit in there. So, let's kind of cross our legs here a little bit. Come on now, Wade, work with me, work with me. Wade, why do you hate me? Is it because I'm sick and tired of getting figures of you? Okay. That's annoying. That's annoying while I'm trying to do this. I thank you for not right now, sir. Alright, and as long as we can get the thumb wrapped around. Actually, not gonna lie, that looks kind of awesome. This might even be my post for the picture for the thumbnail of this. Just Wade stealing the Spider-Mobile with Spider-Man running after him. That's hilarious. Oh. Oh my god, this is funny. It's so ridiculous, I love it. Alright. If you can't tell, I enjoy this purchase. If you like ears or eyes, and you can't tell just by my smile and my laughter, I enjoy this purchase. It's so ridiculous. I'm definitely having Spider-Man running after him as he's stealing the spider buggy. Oh. But do I want to use this version, or do I want to use the suit version with Hitmonkey? That'd be even funnier. Oh. If you can find this guy. Again, you'll only find this vehicle with this little figure at the Disney store. Online, they're sold out. If you go to a Disney store, you might be able to find it. Now, they're pretty tough to find because of people like me that look for it and go, this is hilarious. Because it is. It's straight up hilarious. If you want to do some pictures with your Spider-Verse figures going out on the town, hanging off of here, hanging out the passenger side of their best friend's ride, do it. It's fun. It's funny. It's ridiculous. This vehicle with this figure comes in at a whopping $30. Now, if you want to be extra memey, you get another one, you paint it, you make it into the Shocker Mobile. The Shocker Buggy, because that was a thing that happened in the comics for a while. Or at least a little bit. And it was ridiculous, just like this is. It's fun. It's fun, it's funny, it's worth your time. If I have to give it a rating, it's an 8. It's an 8. It could be a little bit bigger. It could be slightly bigger. It could have a better Spider-Man figure that came with it. It could be a little bit cheaper. But you know what? It's so much fun, and so if this isn't one of the most ridiculous things you're gonna see all day today, I don't know what is. And it's just funny. It's fun. Oh. I am recommending this to you guys. If you see the Spider Buggy out and about, while you're out, if you happen to be by a Disney store and you see the Spider Buggy and you want to make it so Deadpool was stealing it and Spider-Man's running after it, do it. It's so much fun. It's definitely an 8 out of 10 for me. It's a fun vehicle that I can think of a bunch of ways of displaying. It's fun. Again, if we're not having fun, I don't know why we're doing this. If you're collecting figures and you're not having fun, I don't know what you're doing, man. I don't know. Their toys are supposed to be fun. And let me tell you, these genuinely are. Moving on. We've done 2 vehicles. We've done a Marvel Legends, and we've done a Star Wars figure. So, let's do another Star Wars figure. I know we should do another Marvel Legends, but wait for it. Alright? Just wait for it. You guys can be patient. You can wait. You can wait, right? You know how to wait. Be patient. Be cool.
Just be cool,
I'll
man.
be cool.
No, you're
I
not
know
gonna
how to be cool.
You're gonna be.
You guys want to hang out sometime?
Oh, man.
We'll get to it. After all, Marvel Legends one is the newest figure we've got here, so just wait a little bit. Our next figure, though, is going to be another bargain bin find, and that is Clone Captain Rex. Now, Captain Rexy here, as you can tell from big yellow sticker, just like we saw with the Imperial Guard, he came from Five Below. He's dirt cheap. That's the whole reason I got him. But let's get into the figure, shall we? So, we've got our window pane front showing how we've got Captain Rex inside here. It just says how it's Captain Rex, and even says Rex just along the side. We've got our blurb in the back saying how Clone Captain Rex served the Republic during the Clone Wars, often taking orders from Anakin Skywalker, and Ahsoka Tano. He viewed military service as an honor, and he always completed his mission. Even when that mission was executing Order 66. And we're going to, once again, our Black Series, it's just the red background there. There's nothing really to write home about. Inside, we've got Rex. We've got his twin pistols. We've got his helmet. No, the viewfinder. And we've got the captain himself. And because, again, Hasbro listens to at least Star Wars fans, sometimes to Marvel fans, mostly to Star Wars fans, his twin blasters have usable Hulksters. Meaning, all of his accessories can, just like our Imperial Guard, be kept on his person. I'm not gonna lie, I love that. I love that I can just put those into the Hulksters, have him do whatever else. We'll note a quick detail. His kill count along both of his arms here that's scratched in, that's a really neat detail that they made sure to actually get perfectly well on this figure. He even has an extended kill count here on both of his shins. They made sure Rex looks like a badass. And if you look, the head is actually the same as we got with Jango Fett and Boba Fett. Just with a different haircut and blonde hair. Because, of course, we know that the clone troopers are all clones of Boba Fett. Well, of Jango Fett, and Boba Fett's just a very unique clone. You know what I mean. Let's get into the articulation, shall we? For Rex, he can look down decently well. And the Captain can look up actually pretty well as well. Of course, he's got just a standard pivot neck underneath, probably a ball joint. The helmet just kind of pops on over. It's not an alternate head, as they've been doing sometimes, especially with Marvel figures. This is just a helmet that pops on. But it's a very cool looking helmet with an extended kill count along both sides of the helmet, as seen here and here. The rangefinder that he's got, a product of the Mandalorian DNA that flows through him, actually works. So it pops down to cover his eye and pops back up to be the antenna there for comms work. So that's cool. For his shoulder articulation, you know, even with the shoulder pads on him, we're getting a T-pose. That's neat. He does have bicep swivels, unlike the Imperial Guard. He also has double jointed elbows. I can't believe this. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Rex, the clone trooper, is giving us that good flex. Okay, so Hasbro can make an armored figure that's also flexible. Sure, why not? And it also looks like he can get his hand up to the side here, so that while he's using the rangefinder, he can also kind of be using a communicator. So, you know, that works. It's better than Cyclops' articulation. You can't even shoot the beams out of his eyes. He's got an extended kill count on both hands as well. I thought it was just on the forearms. The hands have the up and down sword cut articulation, as seen here and here. But that's only for his right hand. His left hand has the standard in and out wrist articulation. But it doesn't go very far out. Actually, it doesn't go out at all. Only in. Interesting. He's got a torso swivel, an ab swivel, but that's as far right as he's going. That's as far left as he's going. That's as far forward as he's going. And that's as far back. He's got just too much armor plating on him to make it so that he can't really do anything else. And the armor plating, even though it's got a seam, it's not coming off. It's not coming off anytime soon. He does... No, he does not have a waistcoat. I thought he did. He does not. For his hip articulation, that's it. Ouch. It's about as bad as the Imperial Guards. Nowhere near as good as Spider-Man's here, and not even as good as Medusa's. He does have thigh cuts, cleverly hidden by his armor here. He's got double-jointed knees, and of course, I couldn't help but mention all of the cloth for the Imperial Guard. Rex also has 2 pieces of cloth on both sides here. So we can move that out of the way and see some more great paintwork done here where it's all dirtied up on his thighs for some reason. And his double-jointed knees, it's better than most. Better than most of the figures we've seen today. It's not good, but it's better. For being as armored as his thighs and calves are, you know what? I'm willing to forgive it. He also has the rocker ankles, which go a decent degree in, an alright degree out, a slight bit forward, and not at all back. There's too much flash on the back of the calves there to make it so it can't go back whatsoever. As for his height, with his helmet on, Captain Rex here is coming in at just under 6 inches tall? Really? That's, of course, not including... If you include the rangefinder, it's just over 6 inches, but if you do not, he's just under 6 inches. That's interesting. Apparently, that means that Luke was not a little short to be a stormtrooper, because the troopers are shorter than the Imperial Guards. And he's dwarfed by Medusa and her head of hair. The only figure he's bigger than today is our teeny tiny Spidey that came with our spider buggy. At that, he's only so much bigger. So, what do I think of Captain Rex? He's okay. Again, I'll be honest with you guys. I got him because he was $5. Five Below for the win. At $5, I wasn't losing anything by getting a Stormtrooper. I figured I could customize him, I could use him as fodder, but you know what? He's actually cool enough, I'll probably keep him just as is. He's a neat, unique enough Stormtrooper that I just want to keep him as Captain Rex. Because he's actually pretty cool. I know he's a favorite character for a lot of people from the Clone Wars animated series. Yeah, I've got no problem with just keeping this figure as he is. He's neat. I've got nothing wrong with him. Probably put him with my Ahsoka Tano figure. I don't have an Anakin figure, but I don't really want an Anakin figure. On a scale of 1 to 10, he's a 7. Now, hear me out. Only reason he's not higher. So he's pretty much just part reuse from different Stormtroopers. It's a Clone Trooper head with Mandalorian rangefinder. It's pretty much a basic Stormtrooper body with some great paintwork, some great detailing. The new twin Hulksters, which are nice. The new cloth pauldron here, which is nice. Not pauldron, because that's a pauldron. Forgetting what the skirt's name is right now. It'll come to me, of course, after the stream. The pauldron's actually from the Sand Troopers. But he looks cool. Honestly, he's a neat figure. They did some good work with him. He looks cool. that brings us to our last unboxing for the day. Now, as I said to you guys before, if you're going to be real good, I'm going to teach you how to do some customizing today. But let's finish with the unboxings first, shall we? For our last figure today, we have our newest Marvel Legend. It is just hitting stores now. If you have it pre-ordered on their website, you don't have it yet. I know, because I didn't get mine yet. I found it in stores and canceled my pre-order because, yeah. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I when I can find it and not need to pay for shipping? And that is the Walgreens exclusive Iron Man 2020. As mentioned, this is a Walgreens exclusive figure of, surprise, surprise, Iron Man. Now, I know what you guys are saying. Vamp, aren't you always complaining about how many Iron Man figures you got? How you don't want another Iron Man? Why are we supposed to believe you?
Why should I believe you? You're Hitler! No!
Let me tell you. I didn't get this figure for the Iron Man. The Iron Man's pretty cool, but I didn't get it for him. I got it for the effects. I'll show you what I mean. So, taking a look at the figure. We've got our window pane front, our Iron Man 2020 logo here, our stylized comic book version of Iron Man 2020 here on the side, our picture of the figure on the back with our blurb, all about how Arno Stark, not Tony, but Arno Stark, wields powerful weapons and a superior armor suit as Iron Man 2020. Inside of the box, this is what we've got. Our backing, first things first, is an Iron Man logo with some neat tech circuit boards. Now here's the thing. We have two trays with this Iron Man. We have this tray, which just has two effect pieces, and we've got this one with two more effect pieces, two more effect pieces, and Arno Stark, plus two extra hands. I'm going to leave the extra hands in here because they're just punching hands. They're the same Iron Man punching hands we've seen 1.5 million times. They're not reinventing the wheel with the hands. I will definitely say that much. Now, before we get into the reasons that this figure was bought, let's take a look at the figure itself, shall we? Now, I can tell just looking at it, this is based on the Iron Man 80th anniversary body. It's actually the same body with a new belt piece here. And the new shoulder harness here, which actually seems like it can technically even be removed if you do it just right. Yeah. There you go. That removes the shoulder harness entirely, leaving us with just the 80th anniversary Iron Man underneath. So if you missed out on that 80th anniversary Iron Man, which, you know, I did, then switching out the head and taking off this belt will give you an 80th anniversary Iron Man for less than $20. Just saying. Because that figure went for $25 when it was first released. But we'll put his harness back on him for right now. Just find it very interesting that that's how they did this figure. Was they took a more expensive figure, popped some extra parts on him, and then sold it for less money with giving him new effect pieces. Interesting. for our neck articulation. Arno can look down decently well and can look up actually pretty amazingly well. That's good, because that's the position I'm probably going to have him in most of the time. For his shoulder articulation, we're getting better than a T-pose. He does, of course, have bicep swivels. For his double-jointed elbows, so close. If not for the gauntlets here, he could have had that good flex. But no, not today.
Not today, Satan.
He gets none. The repulsar hands that he has have no articulation on them whatsoever. And checking out his secondary hands that he comes with, they do. They've got the standard in and out wrist articulation on them. If you can see here, the cuts in there. They're the standard in and out wrist articulation. Again, nothing new or fancy. For our ab crunch, Arno can go so far forward and a pretty far degree back. He does, of course, have a waist cut. For his hip articulation, he's got a decent range. The second best we've seen today. He has the thigh cuts on him, as seen here. The double-jointed knees, which can go back a pretty great degree. He does have boot cuts. Hooray for a boot cut! For his rocker ankles, he can go a disturbing degree in, a devastating degree out, a fair deal forward, and all the way on point back. The articulation in this figure is solid. But then again, people said that the 80th anniversary Iron Man was their go-to Iron Man figure. That it was the best Iron Man figure ever made. Seeing as how this is the Iron Man figure from the 80th anniversary with a new belt, a new harness, and a new head, yeah, it's going to be just as good. Height-wise, Arno Stark here is coming in at just under 6.5 inches tall. Just a hair under 6.5 inches. Making him our tallest figure today. He completely dwarfs Captain Rex. The Imperial Guard is even short next to him. Queen Medusa. Yep, she only comes up to about his eyes. And, of course, our teeny tiny Spidey looks even more kid-like than the Spider-Man he's used to dealing with. As far as the figure goes, he's not bad. That's not why I bought this figure. Now, these are your standard repulsars. We've seen them 100 times. They plug into the hands. They can be used going pew-pew, shooting repulsars at enemies. That's great. They can also be used for flight. Speaking of flight, let's take a look at these extra parts here, because these are new. These look kind of weird. What's also weird is that they link together. These link together here. And these giant jet boosts, plug into Arno's feet. Now that makes for a pretty cool looking figure in and of itself. Just this look of him like this. But the whole reason I wanted this figure is those jet boosts plug in to those base pieces. Meaning, you can get your Iron Man figure to look like he's taking off. And because the pieces can separate, you can separate how that looks. You can have him with one leg above the other. But me, I'm probably going to have it just like this. This is the whole reason I bought this figure. Is for these effect pieces. So that I could have Iron Man taking off with these effects. That is what makes this figure. With the effect pieces in, this Iron Man goes from being 6.5 inches to 9.5 inches. The effect pieces themselves are 3 inches tall. Now again, if you want to have him use other kinds of means of staying upright, if you've got a stand or something, and you want to do something like this, that's great. You can. But if you want to have him displayed as just taking off, these are your effect pieces to make that happen. This is why I bought this figure. Which, if you have been paying attention, you'll know that Hasbro is offering very soon a deluxe War Machine figure that has these same effect pieces. He also has a couple of different effect pieces. He's got the Black Widow smoking guns. He's got the he's got 2 of the smoking pieces from the Target exclusive Black Widow with smoking guns we did a couple weeks ago. And we customized into our new Colleen Wing figure. He's got 2 of the muzzle flashes from her. He's got a series of other muzzle flashes that are just infinite, or not infinite, but it looks like he's putting out more than one shot. He's got, actually, this very effect piece here for his machine gun that's up on his left shoulder. On his right shoulder, he's got the missile pod, and he's got effect pieces to make it look like missiles are launching, and an unmasked head. And that comic accurate roadie is $30. But I have the ToyBiz version of that same roadie that has a big fire effect piece here, a big fire effect piece for the minigun, a multiple missile launch effect piece for the missile pod. I don't really need that figure, and he even has the faceplate that comes off. I don't really need that figure, but I really wanted these effects. So rather than spend $30 on a figure that I already have and don't need another one of, I'll spend $20 on a figure that I don't actually have, that I don't need another one of, just for the effect pieces. All in all, I will tell you this. For $20, yes, it is a Walgreens exclusive figure, and yes, that means that it is kind of hard to track down. The Iron Man 2020 figure is fun. He's cool. He's got some awesome effects. He's neat. These effect pieces will be used in all future pictures that I take of Iron Man. I'm probably going to be having him do some pictures of him taking off next to the Rocketeer taking off. If you remember several weeks ago when we did the Rocketeer unboxing, he's got the effect piece that plugs into his backpack and makes it look like he's jetting off as well. So I'm probably going to be doing some pictures of the 2 of them together. Just taking off. Because I think that's cool. If I have to give this figure a rating, hate to do it. He's a 9. He's a 9. They took the 80th anniversary Iron Man body. They gave us some extra pieces here and here with a different head, some cool brand new effect pieces, and sold it for $5 less than that 80th anniversary figure. I could pop on a different Iron Man head and say, with removing the chest piece and removing the belt, I can say that's an 80th anniversary Iron Man. I've got no qualms against that. I could even pop on unmasked Tony Stark head because I've got extras of those. As it came with an unmasked Tony Stark head. Okay, well, I've got plenty of those. I've got zero qualms against doing that. If you missed out on the 80th anniversary figure and you don't feel like paying an absurd amount of money for it in the aftermarket, grab them. If you want an Iron Man 2020 figure, grab them. If you just want the cool effect pieces for your future Iron Man photos, me. Hi, me. How am I doing? I'm doing great. Thanks, me. Grab him. He's fun. He's neat. I can't say anything against them. And that marks the end of our unboxings today. So, we have had quite the journey today, haven't we? Normally we do full waves on this channel, but not so much today. Today we just had a hodgepodge, just a hot mess of everything. And I'm trying to make sure there's enough room to get all of our unboxings up here. Because our first one from today was quite the massive unboxing. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. I thank you all for joining us today. I thank you all for taking a look at some weird figures that I've been finding out in the wild. It's pretty much a haul unboxing, if you want to call it that, a random hodgepodge, whatever you want to refer to it. Because I didn't get it all at once, so it's not really a haul, but we're going to call it a haul. She's been waiting to be unboxed for years. This has been wanting to be unboxed for almost a year. This is fairly new. He's pretty new, and these guys have been sitting around for like a week, same as him. I can't say anything bad about any of this. I mean, yeah, she's a little bit unbalanced, but that's fine. Our unboxings today were exactly what they should be. Fun. If you're not having fun, why are you collecting toys? It shouldn't be all about a competitive market and reselling it. Just have fun. God knows I'm going to be, because these are going to make for some fun and weird and honestly hilarious pictures. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all are taking care of yourselves. I hope you all are making sure to keep your mental health in mind. I know it's crazy out there right now. I hope that my streams can give you guys a little bit of joy. I hope that my videos can spark just a little bit of happiness to take your mind off of just everything that's going on out there. I know it can be depressing. I know that it can feel oppressive, as though the weight of the world is on your shoulders at all times. I invite you guys to come look at the videos, look at the YouTube. Here, let's pop up with our socials over here for a quick second. I'm here every Sunday. If you guys ever need to come and talk, I'm right here. If you guys want to just watch someone have a ball with some action figures, I'm right here. If you aren't wanting to be with me in person, b.link/Toy Dungeon. You can see all of the memed up, funny videos that we upload all the time. We're glad to be here for you. I thank you all very much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great day. Keep it nerdy. We'll see you later.